So let's self-assess our hip external rotation. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a strap and I'm just going to place it over the heel of my front foot. I'm going to take this back leg off to the side because I'm doing external rotation. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull myself into as much external rotation as I can. Okay, that's my external rotation. I'm looking for the range of motion I can pull into without any sort of shifting of my upper body. So that's my external rotation passive range. And then I'm going to test my active range. In order to test my active range, I'm just going to actively try and replicate that. Okay? So my active range, notice, does not match my passive range. So I'm going to want to close that gap between the two of those. And the way I close the gap between the two of those ranges is by using positional isometrics. So I can do things like taking myself into external rotation, and I can do active movement where I'm trying to drive away. So I'm trying to rotate this direction and then trying to pull up and away from the strap, utilizing this tissue here. In a situation where I don't have enough passive range in general, so remember, passive range gives me the range at which I have potential. Active range tells me how much of that potential I can control. If I don't have enough potential, then I'm going to want to improve that potential range. And how I improve that potential range is by utilizing pails and rails. So, improving the potential range, utilizing pails and rails, and then closing the gap between active and passive. So if I have a lot of potential range but don't have control of it, I'm going to want to use some degree of positional isometric, or maybe even something like a passive range hold. So taking myself into this passive range and then trying to hold there and contract there. And just learning how to contract the tissue there, loading the tissue there, and a variety of other types of inputs.